this roof did not go on correctly.
Dude, this is intricate work right here for what it is. You can't film me. I'm like looking for everything all the time.
Oh, that's why. Look at it. It's hard, dude. What's up, everybody? I'm Adam with Meller Woodworks, and we are at our, where are we? We're at our Purcell job site, and we are in insulation mode. So we are getting our Rockwool on this home. And as usual, per the Meller Woodworks way, we're doing an R6 Comfortboard. It's the Comfortboard 80 that we're putting on out here. And we're wrapping all of our sheathing all, excuse me, all the way around our house. So we got the bottom floor done. We still need to go up and do the upstairs. We did the outside down here. The team has all moved inside. We got the inside almost wrapped up with the interior bats in there. So this is an R6 value out here on this wall. It's outside of our sheathing. Crazy, right? Who puts insulation outside their homes? We do. Where are we at in Oklahoma? Why do we do that? Because of our climate zone that we're in. We're in a mixed, humid climate zone. And this thermal blanket is going to help take care of all the thermal bridging on our home. We're not going to get those normal thermal bridging that we typically get through the studs, because on the inside you only insulate the interior of the bays. So every stud is a thermal break on that. So this is helping to stop that and break up the thermal break on the inside. So this is going to be a nice, warm, cozy blanket for our home. In the summer, this is going to help deflect heat off of the house. In the winter, it's going to help keep our heat inside the house. But let's go inside and check out the interior bats. All right, so we are on the inside of the home now, and we have got our insulation in the walls. It's beautiful. It's looking wonderful. This is the Comfortbatt. It's an R23 because it's a 5.5 inch. Because we're a 2x6 wall, we get 5.5 inches of cavity, and we can fill that with the R23 5.5 inch bats. R23 inside, R6 outside. That puts us at an R29 cumulative.
Dude, this is intricate work right here for what it is. Oh, that's my blade. You gotta like line everything up. Cut out all these wires and everything. Boom.
So we were resorting to the thing you're not supposed to do with Rockwool, which is tear it apart and pack it in. This actually hurts my heart. And I know any of you Rockwool people that are watching this, you're like, yeah, that hurts my heart too. But how else am I gonna do this? Look at it! It's gonna take 2 to 3 times the amount of Rockwool it would have taken just if I got to do it the way we're allowed to do it, which is put a whole bat in there. But because we're breaking it and stuffing it and packing it, it's gonna take more material. See if I can't cut a piece to go right there, like that. That one. Just use that one. All right, so I'm gonna open this up, see if I can't feed it behind this pipe. Oh yeah. Look at it. So we got all this downstairs almost done. We're like 98% done. And then we're gonna go upstairs and start working on the exterior and then on the interior. So let's get into it. The Rockwool all the way up to the ceiling.
Do you mean like all the way around the building?
All the way around the bottom here.
Even on the one where like the door is supposed to be cut out?
No, start this side, work your way around that way. Due to the windows, and then we'll mark the door. We'll see. We might even cut that out today. I don't know. But start on that corner, and then work around this way. That'll give him and I time to take care of the soffit, and then maybe I can jump to that door. And then after the door, we can jump onto awnings because we have to build awnings that go on all this, and then we can do Rockwool. So we are pivoting.
I love your attitude, bro.
So this roof did not go on correctly. We had some subs, roof on, did not go well. Ultimately, the roof's gonna need to be replaced. One of the things we did not do correctly is this flashing detail right here. So this trim that's sitting on the bottom side of our soffit up against the wall is sitting on the outside. Don't back up anymore, dude. Sitting on the outside of the bottom side of the fascia. What was supposed to happen, and what I asked them to do, was to take that bottom trim, push it all the way up in the corner, and tape the two ends, and then that gives us our nice water and air seal up there on that crack. I don't have to worry about liquid flash or anything like that. It's supposed to be just a little bit quicker, a little bit more efficient for us. But they didn't do that right, and there's a lot of other things they did wrong on this roof. So what Caden and I are gonna have to do is take this bottom trim off, then take all the soffit off, which needs to come off anyways. It's all gotta be redone. And then do the trim detail properly here, because we are pretty much at the point where we're almost ready to Rockwool. I'll put our exterior Rockwool out here. You saw it downstairs. Now we need to put it on this wall up here and take it all the way up. But my detail up there did not get done correctly, so we are going to take care of that real quick so that we can get the Rockwool all the way up as far as we need to go. You got my drill? You are awesome. We'll work together on this.
All right.
Oh, you got the big dog. but watch out! Get over here. This is pretty annoying. Rework. Nobody likes doing rework. Now, if everybody would have just done it right the first time, what you're doing this. This is part of the problem, though. It's when people don't listen. If you're watching and you're a DIYer, pay attention. Details. Details matter. Because if the details aren't done right, you gotta redo it in order to get it right. Well, it takes time, more energy, more effort, wasted materials. Just do it right. Yes, I know. But it's how I feel when I have to redo people's work that I paid them to do in the first place. Ah! Oh! Died.
It's fine.
You almost died, dude. I almost lost that. If it was done correctly, this would be sealed. And this would be sealed. This isn't sealed either. So I've got to seal this in order to get my tight air barrier. If I did a blower door test on this thing, dude, we'd leaking everything. We'd no air in it. So, what I'm saying is, just do better. Just quit cutting corners. I understand the allure to cut corners because you're getting done with the task faster. But the task ain't right. Do it right the first time, you don't have to do it again a second time. Rant over. Timber!
A man can't cross the same river twice because he's not the same man and it's not the same river. It's a good one.
But also on top of these windows, not these taller windows, but these lower windows, our clients want to put a little awning right there on top of it. So we need to build a cedar awning box, essentially, that matches the pitch up there, which is 10-12. Comes down a little bit and just gives a little bit of cover over that windows. It's more aesthetic than anything else. It's just a look that they like. So we're not doing it to necessarily protect the window and whatnot. We're doing it for aesthetics. Our rafter length is 20.8 inches. And then our rise will be like 13.25. So there, and that should give us our pitch here. So 1.25, so 13, 1.25. We can't go here because we have to go high enough to clear this corner. Because if I go flat, you know, we'll probably end up something like that, right? So do you like that? Right there, top of the window, or should we go up? No, I think
top of the window,
yeah. 4 at 43 inches. No. 2